Hello everyone, this is FinEcon and I am the executive. Today we are having episode number 12 with amazing guest. I guess he's one of the celebrities in our country in the finance industry, as many people know him, at least heard of him. So today we are having Rakhmonov Mirafzal, who is currently investment analyst at European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Today we talk about his experience in career of finance, of course, throughout the Big Three, Big Four, and also some of the private companies in our country, and of course, EBRD. And he is also a great teacher, teaching 600 people throughout his career, ACCA curriculum, specifically strategic management, accounting, and corporate finance. So for sure, we will talk about ACCA too. So, Assalamu alaikum, Mirafzal. How are you today? Thank you for being here.
So, walaikum assalam. Thank you for having me. So, pretty fine, not to mention the outage in my flat.
Yeah, thank you. Now, to get things warm up, can you tell about yourself, especially your background, your career progress, how it all started, and specifically, that would be really helpful if you can mention exact skills needed for each role you had throughout your career. That would be great. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's a long story actually. Well, but I will try to make it shorter. Well, my name is Mirafzal. I am 25 years old, born in Bukhara, and I graduated Tashkent Institute of Finance. Previously, it was known like that. Now it's Tashkent State University of Economics. My major is also economics. And I started my initial professional career at IDP Isles, and so I started there as a finance clerk. It was, if I'm not mistaken, in 2021, where I started as a finance clerk. I was mainly responsible to prepare financial statements and to do some budgeting. Well, interestingly, I had that time 7 ACCA papers, but I joined the company to work for free, mainly because it was located in a very good location and the lunch was free as well. So a very good opportunity for a student to have. I just wanted to put this ACCA knowledge into practice. Well, but luckily I was paid after months because I was doing some interesting thing there, and that my ACCA knowledge paid off. Well, I stayed with them for a year and 7 months. So I was promoted twice to financial controller. That was the latest position that I had. But it's a private company, so maybe the owner, you guys probably know, like the owner of this business, it's Umidjon Ishmuhamedov. He's actually we can say an influencer in the amongst youth, and he promotes this ACCA IELTS sort of things. And he actually worked at PwC. He for 3 or 5 years. So I graduated my university. I said, so I want to I want to go further. I want to feel what is like corporate world. Yeah. So because we need to admit that private companies from Uzbekistan, they are not at that high level for now because it's emerging country, as you may already know. Well, that's why I wanted to have that corporate exposure, so I decided to go further. Well, at that time I had offer from BCG for internship position. I was that time the first interns in Tashkent office of BCG. So like after, I don't know, 4 or 5 months of a rigorous selection, I was one of 4 candidates in internship position, chosen for the internship. So yeah, I started on July 2023 as a consulting intern. So like BCG opened its office in Tashkent in 2022. So like I was that time there was not so many projects, but they kept me busy. So I worked in 2-3 projects as far as I remember. So yeah, I worked there for 2 months, but it's consulting. It's different from finance. So everything was new for me, challenging, pressure. I don't understand what the language they are talking about. So in consulting, you should like be good at everything: math, chemistry, physics, so whatever you name it. Well, yeah, it was a really good experience. I spent 6 months there. I mainly lived in Uchkuduk, if we can say, like district of Navai. So it's the furthest district of Navai. So it's far from civilization, very difficult environment, harsh working conditions. But I really liked the working environment there, but I wanted to be close to finance because I did this ACCA thing for 2 years. So like I didn't sleep. I prepared back to back, and I took so many exams, but I'm not putting this ACCA thing into practice, just in consulting. So that's why I wanted to move into finance, and one of my close friends, he's actually ACCA affiliate, uh, he said, we have a position for you, why don't you join us? So I joined KPMG deal advisory department as a consultant. There I was part of the financial due diligence team. So mainly what financial due diligence team do, they they try to reduce information asymmetry between investor and the company. So if I speak in a plain English, I mean, like we used to prepare reports for the investors before acquiring a potential company. We call them targets. So yeah, say you are coming from Europe and you are going to acquire a, say, 30% stake in a company in Uzbekistan, but you want to know what are the risks. I mean, financial risks there. So we usually we did financial analysis for them, and we prepared reports and presented. So there I spent year and 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I joined in January, early January 2024, and I left in February 2025. Well, amazing team, amazing people, very friendly, so many like-minded people, so many great projects. I was lucky to participate in 10 projects within 15 months. So you see that the intensity, I really liked it, and I learned a lot. Well, EBRD, coming to EBRD, well, EBRD, I really got interested into IFIs. IFI means International Financial Institutions, back in 2023 before joining BCG. But I started applying even that time. So, but I always got rejections. Sometimes at first stage, I didn't pass the screening stage. Sometimes I passed the first interviews, second interview, but I couldn't make it. So I just applied to EBRD, if I'm not mistaken, in July or August. So yeah, after 7 months of that rigorous selection, after quite a few quite a few interviews, background checks, talks. I've been selected, and I started in late February, at EBRD. So here I am part of Food and Agribusiness Group. We mainly fund projects in food and agribusiness. So that's anything that we consume, so can be funded by EBRD. So here I mainly do financial modeling, financial analysis, things I learned at Big Four, KPMG, and things I learned at BCG also helping me. So I mainly do the modeling and financial analysis thing and prepare our initial documents, go to the board and get the project approved, come back and fund the client to realize its projects and to expand its operations or so on. So that's what I mainly doing here. I one thing that I missed is I didn't tell you about my teaching ACCA. Well, I started teaching, I don't know, in 2020 or so. I started teaching English and math to students. I was a private tutor teaching math and English. So I taught math and English for sometimes more than 2 years, and after 2 years, and after that I switched to teaching ACCA. But like back in 2021, when I started ACCA, there were quite a few teachers in the market, so I was very young, passed only F2 and started teaching F2, like this management accounting. And I started in 2021 May, and thereon I'm ACCA tutor. I'm ACCA tutor. So I've, like yesterday we were talking with the study center, I've taught over 857 students to this date. So I mainly teach management accounting, financial management, and performance management. But apart from that, I taught something like financial accounting and audit sometimes. So like teaching is going on as it's like a hobby. I think it's in my DNA as well, because I come from the family of teachers. So I've been doing it for the last 4 years. So I think I will hopefully continue it down the road. So that's briefly about me.
Yeah, thank you for the great introduction. And your background is kind of interesting. So I have got a couple of questions about this. And the first one, which I never heard of. So you got 7 ACCA papers, but you decided to join IDP like as a volunteer, I mean for free, right?
Yeah.
And then you mentioned that you get paid after months because you were doing some interesting stuff.
Yep.
So to use right now, maybe they're listening and they may have a couple of ACCA papers. Do you suggest them to work for free after getting a couple of papers, or should they continue studying if they cannot find a paid job? What do you think about this?
Well, there are quite a few things that you need to consider. But, well, like actually, there is an interesting story behind me joining like IDP. Like I remember, we were like Umi Jonaka actually came to our university as a guest lecturer, and he told us like who has ACCA, who knows about CPA, that CFA thing. So it happened that I was the only guy in the room with 7 ACCA papers under my belt. So he said, like, if you want, just text me via Instagram. I am ready to offer you internship. Well, I went and passed the interview. I initially thought that it's sort of a test whether I am interested in money or I am interested in getting practical, down to earth experience there. So I said, like, I'm fine. I go with it. So like my advice to students, like, who are unable to find paid job, but they have that offer on the table that says come work for me, and I will later pay for you, like if you are worth for it. Yeah, so go just grab it. So it's better to work somewhere, to put your knowledge into practice and to see how things work in real life, than sitting at home and hitting the book. So like it's good that you are learning, but for me, like knowledge, if you don't use it, why you are learning it? Yeah, why you're starting? So that's why I would say, just if you have chance, if you have the offer, go grab it. So don't postpone it.
Yeah, thank you. Then the summary should be, even though we cannot find paid job having some SEC papers, we should accept the offer if we have any, even though it's not paid, because down the road, if we make some value to the organization, then we might be paid, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
and then you mentioned that you decided to leave the private company because you were not high level yet. So I'm curious, what would you say to start a career at? I mean, would you suggest starting the career at private company or some multi big corporations or some institutions? What do you suggest these days compared to, I know it's been a while since you worked there?
Well, there is a clear difference, that like international company is, as the name says, it's international. So everything that you experience there will be quite useful for you down the road. Well, corporate companies like SMEs, or like any corporate companies in Uzbekistan, they're at developing stage. They are at the developing stage. So any international company, they have that system working. They have that professionalism that you feel. Yeah, corporate professionalism, and that corporate environment, how you behave, how you speak, how you talk, how you negotiate. It's something that you can learn at corporate companies. But maybe you can go to the private companies and you can learn there as well. But I'm not saying that corporate companies in Uzbekistan are not, like, they are not a good school to go and to learn. Yeah, but international companies, from this perspective, they give you a very solid sort of background and solid knowledge. Well, I would say, if you can, so I say to all my students, like, go to the big four. If you can get opportunity, work a little bit there. So if you don't like that the intense work environments, so usually the everybody says that you should work at least 3 years, go to that until that senior level, not manager but senior level, and find opportunity, exit. So and that's a very good exit. And like, because after that you exit with confidence. Yeah, you believe in your skills, you believe in what you do, you believe in what you bring to the table, and you can easily negotiate something like, I don't know, $3,000 to $5,000 per month, if you are that much competent. Well, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult to go up through the corporate ladder. Like, if you go to the corporate company, so you start with something like 10 million, or I don't know, 15 million per month, but I don't. They don't have that first initially. They don't have that clear promotion scheme that like, you do this thing and you will be promoted in a year if you reach that level. Yeah, so here is the another level. You reach that level, you will get that promotion, you will get that salary increase. Yeah, you reach that level, you go up. So in international companies, they have that sort of scheme, but in corporate companies in Uzbekistan, they do not have that sort of advanced scheme, so maybe they cannot offer it. So like, there are many pros and cons that you need to sit and balance, but it's my humble opinion that if you have that opportunity between corporate uh, companies and that international companies, like, I don't know, Big Four, Big Three, or IB or IFIs. So I would go for something international, and because anyway they're international and they will have something to excite you.
Thank you for the answer. That's then we should try to aim, if possible, corporate or international companies, because we got a lot of things to learn, structure and corporate wallet too.
Yeah.
Then you mentioned that you started your ACCA at 2021, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, why you have decided to pursue ACCA among other certifications such as CFA, FRM? It can be also CPA. I mean, why exactly ACCA you decided to study?
Well, it was actually in 2019 when I got admitted into university. Well, I was preparing for the math, and my math teacher said, like, Mirafzal, listen, you go and enter that Tashkent Institute of Finance, but let me tell you, I graduated that university. The university will not excite you. It's like things that you're dreaming of. They probably will not offer that level of expectations that you are waiting for. That's why do something international. So he said there is a very good certification called ACCA. So I have my students already passed 7 exams, and he has good like opportunities in Tashkent. So like his student was Abdul Karim Aka, like maybe you know him. He's also ACCA tutor. Then I said, okay, so this ACCA thing is a good thing to pursue. Then I came back. I only that time I only knew about ACCA. I remember I didn't know about CPA, FRM, CFA thing. So I remember I didn't have like my YouTube in my phone. And I don't know, for some reason I was not that much interested in internet and searching things and what's going on. So they said like ACCA is a thing that you should do and it will promise you a very good career opportunity. So I said, so okay, I need to do it. I remember like living with graduate students in the same floor in dormitory, and I remember my first talk with them. I said like, bro, listen, you are a graduate student. Where you are going to? So you're graduating the university. And he said, like, I don't know, maybe I go to the bank and they're offering something like $500 or $400 per month. So that was not my plan. Like I cannot leave for $500 or $400 per month because I have the very good English language that time. So I said, so it's very like it's not much. So why you are underpaid? So they said like because I'm not qualified that much to I don't know, to be worth for 1,500 per month, say. So I'm just like telling you the numbers. So and I said, okay, what should I do? There's a ACCA thing that my tutor told. Is it something actually, and does it work? And he said like, yeah, it's a great thing. It has 13 exams, but it's very difficult. So do some research, and it's very difficult. And if you can finish it until like your graduation, you will have very good chances. So I started ACCA in 2021. So I did that math and English teaching. So I saved some money, and then I did. I remember I got IELTS. So I started then ACCA. I passed 3 or 4 exams. Then I heard about CFA, FRM, CPA things. And yes, CFA, like that time, they said it's way better than ACCA, but I really like to finish what I started. So like for me, it's like I know it's like a habit. Like if you start something, go to the logical ends. So you finish, then move to the next. So I said like, okay, like CFA is good. So let me finish this ACCA thing. So then get job, get my ACCA knowledge monetized, yeah, to earn some pocket money. Then I will care about that CFA thing. So yeah, I finished it in 2023. Then like I didn't have that need for CFA. So I said, okay, maybe sometime in the future, if I have need for that, I will do it. But why I didn't go for CFA, FRM, or CPA? Because I didn't know about it. the only thing that I knew that was ACCA, so I started it that time and I finished it.
Yeah, it's surprising to know that it all goes back to your math teacher in 2019,
Yeah,
and also the fact that you never heard of other certifications except
yeah,
ACCA.
yeah.
And after talking to other people, some people working in US like private equity, some people working in a bank, they mention some of them mentioned that there is no need for any certifications. So my question is, can you share average profile of a student who needs to study for ACCA and who does not need an ACCA at all? And do you think everyone needs to study ACCA?
Well, when I promote this ACCA thing, I say, well, if you are in Uzbekistan studying at that local university and you are not getting that top level education, so ACCA is a game changer for you. Well, I remember my friend starting at Westminster University during that COVID time, and that Westminster University was offering online financial accounting classes that was similar to financial accounting, not similar but identical to financial accounting of ACCA. So Westminster was offering that time, but the university that I studied at, they didn't offer. So for me, like, in order to compete with those students coming from Westminster or like Management Development Institute of Singapore in Tashkent, or Webster, or like so many international universities, in order to compete with them, local university students, for them ACCA can be a very useful tool to compete. Yeah, because they will have the same knowledge as Westminster students, like with this ACCA. So I, like, when I promote it, I always say that, like, you need the ACCA because you need to be competitive in the job market. Because that's the proof, like how you can compete with them. So for me, like, yeah, it's ideal for local university students. For local, I mean graduates of local universities, not international. But like for everyone, I would say not all, but something like 4 or 5 ACCA exams will give you a very practical sort of skills that you can use in your job. So like F2, so management accounting, financial accounting, audits maybe, but financial reporting and that financial management, corporate finance things, they're useful. They're useful, but you need to appreciate the fact that ACCA is not another world and university is not another world. Like ACCA, they are selling service. What they're doing, they're taking information from books, putting in a very nice, readable, structured format, giving you that book, and they're saying, listen, read that book, come back, take my exam, pass it, I will give you a certificate. You go to the market, you will serve the certificate, you land in. That's it. So whatever that you study at university might be the same as ACCA's textbooks. But if they are the same, like, why you need ACCA? Go study at university very well, graduate with distinction, go land a job. So in the market, nobody cares about your ACCA. Everybody cares about what you know and what you can do. Some people like me go start the ACCA thing and grab it from there. Some people go to the very good universities, learn from their lecturers at university, come back to the job market and use it. So like it's a mean, I mean, it's a tool. You do not need to exaggerate this ACCA thing. Just it's a very nice formatted sort of textbook. You need to learn, go take exam, pass it. That's it.
Yeah, but there might be some people or students or currently studying at local university, but they may not able to, let's say, afford ACCA papers because they cost some money. And I know that ACCA is still cheaper than CFA or FRM, or maybe from CPA too. What do you suggest to them? Like, if they have no money for ACCA, what they should focus on or doing? Because this is also happening.
Go work, save some money, and start. Well, I heard about ACCA in 2019. I started teaching math. I started teaching English. I saved some money, something like $800 or $1,000. I came back in 2021 and I started. Well, I didn't have money at that time as well, but I spent 2 years like to save some money and to start it. And it worked. And here I am, like talking to you and saying it's a good thing.
Yeah, thank you for your hard work. And we know that ACCA offers some exemptions from the exams. So what do you think, when it's best time to take exemptions or when it's not suggested at all?
There are some papers that like, sorry for that, but it's a headache. So if you're exempted from those exams, go take it. But there are some papers that you should reject exemptions. So if you have exemptions from financial accounting and management accounting, reject it. Open the book, study, pass the exam. It will help you, like, in the future for coming P level or F level exams. So if you are exempted from business technology, corporate law, I don't know, taxation, just accept those exemptions and they will save your nerves and they will, like, give you some headache-free days.
Thank you for the answer. And so basically you mentioned that we should reject exemptions if it's from financial accounting or management accounting because they are key to passing P level exams at ACCA.
Yeah.
And so you said you taught ACCA, if I'm mistaken, that's management accounting and corporate finance to more than 600 students. That's pretty high, a lot of people. So how to best prepare for ACCA, and any common mistakes that you have noticed when students are preparing for the exams?
Well, there are quite a lot of mistakes. Well, the first thing is discipline. Like, be disciplined. Like, if you don't understand something, just leave it. Open a notebook, have your red and black and blue pens, write things down. Yeah, take some notes, come back to your notes, read your notes, and that will help you. So, like, I don't know, like, I started taking notes back then when I prepared for entry exams, and it really helped me. So for every ACCA exam that I passed, I had my notebook where I took notes and I came back and read every note that I have taken. Yeah. So that's a very good way of memorizing, like, not memorizing, but understanding the concepts. And sometimes you need to go beyond ACCA. Don't limit your resources to the standard resources that ACCA recommends. Go to YouTube. You have ChatGPT. Like, when I passed that exam, I didn't have ChatGPT. Like, you have ChatGPT now. Go talk, give detailed questions, and take answers. But yes, but it will not give you perfect answer all the time. But it will give you ideas. Yeah. Go to YouTube, research. So, like, when I prepared ACCA, I always started that going beyond. So yeah, I always started, like, what is it? Like, I really like top-down approach. Yeah. So I always spent some, like, a week, if I'm not mistaken, I was sitting and reading that past sort of exams, exam structure, examiner minds, what they expect, what they want from me, why I need to pass this exam. So I spent a lot of time for background reading, just to understand the expectations of the examiner. And then once I understood their expectations, then I moved down. Okay, just to fulfill their expectations, there are, say, 12 topics that I need to master. Yeah, so topic by topic, I read the topics, I took some notes, did some conclusions for myself, went back to the went forward to the next topic, and it went on and went on. So this is how I used to do, and it really helped me. So regarding the common mistakes that students do, they are not disciplined. They study 2-3 days in a week, and not every day, and because they have that problem that they are not making starting their habits. So if you make habits, that starting just an hour a day, so it will be easier for you. So common mistake is that the lack of discipline, and I would say, so what is it, like lack of traditional classical things that I can tell you is lack of mathematical or logical thinking, lack of math skills, like English language. Yeah, they cannot express what they want in English. Yeah, they cannot write it, but they really want to pass ACCA, but they cannot simply express their ideas. But sorry, but how you can pass exams? Yeah, examiner doesn't know you. So for those students, I always recommend to go back to the 6th or 7th grade math and take that math problem, sit down and solve it, say for 2-3 months, just to increase that your mathematical sort of intuition, yeah, to approach the problems. And I also recommend them to work on their English before starting ACCA. I always say, don't waste your time in reading ACCA books if you are not competent or confident in your English. You end up failing and failing, and you demotivate yourself. It's better to go and take your time, work on your English, come back and do it.
Yeah, thank you for the tips. Hope people listening to this conversation will find it useful.
Yep.
And so you worked at Boston Consulting Group. You did internships
Yep.
there. If I'm not mistaken, you mentioned that you got the offer from the Boston Consulting Group. So does it mean you didn't apply, or and also how would you stand out if you're starting, uh, these days in 2025 when you apply to Boston Consulting Group? Because there's so much competition these days.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I passed that internship thing, summer internship. It was a 2 months internship, and they said, so I was in Navoy. It's like I was a very good asset for them. Like I always used to say that, like I used to speak Uzbek language, a little bit Russian, English, and I had that good communication skills just to get on well with the clients. And so I was a good sort of middleman for them. So from that perspective, they said, so we will give you the offer on conditions that you will work in this project in Hawaii for a year and a half or 2 years or something. So I I took my time. I spent another 4 months. I said, okay, just give me some time. Let me work a little bit. So I worked for 4 months, but then like I'm the only kid in the family. So I lived 5 years far from my family. So I really like my family. I'm sort of a family man. So I just wanted to be close to my family. So I wanted my parents to come to Tashkent and to live with me. So but I was always in Navoi. Yeah. So 10 days, like consecutive 10 days, we used to work in Navoi and came back to have rest for another 4 days to Tashkent. So, but I didn't like that sort of life. So for me, like teaching, I was tutored that time. I really appreciate and I really respectful and grateful for my students to bear with me those times, because I used to teach early in the morning, 6:30 to 8:30, and used to go back to work to consulting. So it was that crazy times. So, but I felt that the teaching performance was sort of deteriorating time by time. So I couldn't allocate enough attention to my students. Then I said, like, okay, this BCG thing is not for me for now. I better go to Tashkent and work at KPMG. It's like even if they're paying 2-3 times less than BCG. So yeah, BCG paid really good money, but I decided to exit and go for KPMG. So that time everybody said, you are crazy, man. So you are rejecting BCG and their offer. You are crazy. But like I said, like, let me live my own life. It's my decision, and let me decide. Yeah, so, like some of my friends even said that probably you got fired and you couldn't make it to BCG, and that's why you are not telling us. But it was not like that. It was me just saying no to BCG, and not BCG saying no to me. And yeah, it's really competitive. I agree. To stand out, I think you should have MBA, a very like target school MBA probably. So if you have the target school MBA degree, but for you it will be easier to sort of get offer from them. But you should always, like, there are some people from Uzbekistan working at BCG, but they don't have the target school MBA, but they had a 10-year working experience in I don't know, 3 or 5 different sectors, and they're bringing that experience to the table. And of course they deserve to work at BCG, because at BCG you are in consulting. You will have so many different projects in so many different sectors, and you need to have that problem solving skills, resilience to live by, and everything. So that sort of things will help you to stand out and to join. But like, if you do that LinkedIn research and sit down and see or go through the LinkedIn profiles of those who work at BCG, they're coming from top schools, LBS, yeah, London Business School, London School of Economics, Warwick, some MBAs, top MBA degrees of US, and so many things. Yeah.
That's surprising that some of your friends thought you were fired from BCG. Actually, you rejected the offer they had. And you also mentioned early on that in consulting, it's really different from ACCA. Even you should know chemistry. That's what you said. So how the consulting is different? And do you think finance background will?
Well, if I heard you well, in consulting, so you need chemistry. Yeah, I remember working at that mining plants, where mine processing plants where they produce gold. Yeah. So, well, I needed some chemistry skills and physics just to understand how these things are laid out. Yeah. So, like, you may encounter like any subject that you studied at school. So you should have the basics at least to make sense, to understand how things work and what's going on there, and what's the work like. production or processing process, like what's their function. So you will need them. So I'm not saying that like you should be like specialized in chemistry. Yeah, you should not have PhD in chemistry to join BCG, but you should be a straight A student. You know who is straight A student? Straight A student, he or she has straight A results from all subjects. So that means like he or she knows like the basics of all those subjects, and those subjects will help you down the road. Like you should be a very straight A student in consulting, just to make sense to everything. And you should be very curious about things, and you should be very quick learner. If you're given a problem and if you don't know it, you should sit down and do your Google research or whatever research just to learn how things work, to identify the problems, put those problems into the very beautiful slides, write down some recommendations and solutions, go to your partner and say, here you are, the problem, and here what I propose. So you should be like proficient in that.
Yeah, that makes sense then. I thought that would be specialization in chemistry, but I
No,
still know some people, maybe in different countries, who have PhD in chemistry working at BCG. And
maybe.
so, and congratulations on, receiving Chevening Scholarship.
Thank you.
So we will talk about this one, which funds your studies, masters actually at Imperial College London, which is a
Mm-hmm.
prestigious university in the world. So,
It is.
and you mentioned on your post, I remember reading this one, that you knew you would get a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you know that you would get a scholarship? And could you explain the application process and how your application stand out among like thousands of people applying to this scholarship?
Well, it was my second attempt to apply to Chevening, but like to speak about Chevening, it's one of the prestigious scholarship in the world, initiated by Foreign Commonwealth Development Office. They say FCDO, but basically it's the British government who is funding. So it's a scholarship. They give scholarship to future leaders, and in like those Chevening Scholarship recipients, they should serve to strengthen the relationship of UK and Uzbekistan. And like it's something that they do not say directly, but anyway, like Chevening Scholarship should be bridge between Uzbekistan, like between their home country and UK, and they should be future leaders with leadership skills, good networking skills, and a proper career plan, and a proper and a very good reason why they need master's degree. So you basically write 4 essays. In your first essay, you say them about leadership skills that you demonstrated in within 500 words. You should bring some 2 or 3 cases where you say, so here is the case, here how I used my leadership skills and solved the problem. You see, so you simply sell yourself. Yeah, then you move to the networking skills. You say, so I am very good at networking, so I am very open person, I like communicating, I am a member of this society, or I'm a member of this group. So using my network, I solved particular problem, or I helped particular groups of people. So like Chevening wants to hear that using your networking skills, you can create impact. Why? Because they want you that once you go back, go to UK, study there, and once you come back to Uzbekistan, they want you that you create impact in Uzbekistan using the network you gathered there in the UK. So that's why they want to see whether you have those skills or not. So that's the first. That's the second thing. Yeah, networking. So after that, you move to the study in the UK essay, where you say why you need master's degree. So you should have a very solid argument to showcase that you need master's degree because 1, 2, 3. So yeah, some reasons why you need it. And then you choose 3 universities. In my case, I chose University of Oxford, I chose Imperial College London, and I chose University of Edinburgh. Well, then you should say, I'm going to go to the University of Oxford, this school, this subject, because they are good at those things, and I really like this university's approach to something, something, something. So you need to do your research as your homework and say some unique things about those universities, not general things, but unique things about those universities that you want. Yeah. So in my case, for example, regarding Imperial, I was doing my research, and one day I saw that Imperial College London, they have their research center, and that research center is cooperating with the Minister of Finance and Economy of Uzbekistan on a very interesting topic. And in my essay, I said that when I go to Imperial, I want to join that research center and assist them in doing research in this particular topic. And my local skills of Uzbekistan will definitely help them. So you see, this is the nail on the hand. Like, you nailed it. Yeah, it's very unique. It's not something repetitive. So you need to present those sort of things. Career plan. So essays are logically and cohesively sort of interconnected. So you are saying about your leadership, you're saying about your network, you're saying about your reason why you want to study at those 3 universities and why you want to do masters. And in your career plan, once you come back, you should say them. So here I came back. So once I come back, I joined this company to this position. So in my position for the coming 3 years, I will do this, that, and that. After 5 years, I end up in this company, so I will do very great things, this, that, and that. And after 10 years, I will be like advisor to the Mr. President. So I will advise him on some topics, interesting topics, and this and that and that. So you see, I'm creating it, but you should have that 3, 5, or 10-year career plan. And that career plan you should not be afraid to be ambitious. So you should be ambitious, and you should tell like where you are going to end up and what you are going to change and what sort of impact you are going to bring. Yeah, and how UK will assist you in this path. So that's Chevening. Well, the first time I applied, so like I remember that was in 2023. So when I applied, well, I read my essays and I smile. Yeah, so like it was ridiculously written essay. So it was written very quickly, and I was not well prepared. Well, I remember like February 2024. I was so stressed. I never felt stressed, so stressed. Well, I was rejected by Chevening. I was rejected by DAAD of German scholarship, and I was also feeling that imposter syndrome at KPMG. Like I was thinking, like I do not deserve the position that I got. So stressed. I lived with that stress for, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks, and I started a real research. I spent around 6 months to research. So what I did, I researched about UK Uzbekistan relationship, what they are doing, yeah, how much they are investing, what's their goal, what they want to do. I listened to many podcasts by the counselor, by the embassy of UK here in Uzbekistan. So I did quite a lot of research. I remember opening my Word file and writing everything that I know. Yeah, so it was like I sort of collected 3 to 5 pages of documents, so like ideas for my essay. And I wrote my essay around 2, 3 months during summer. I remember like leaving my desk at sometimes 10 p.m. and going to the socials cafe here at Minov metro station and spending there until 1 or 2 a.m. and crafting my essay. So I wrote like my essay and I changed it, I don't know, 100 times. I showed it to around 12 Chevening scholars. So yeah, so this is networking. So by the way, like when I interested that into that Chevening thing, I got friend with quite a few Chevening scholars. So I gave my essays to them. They read, they proofread, they gave some ideas. So at the end, and I had that very like perfect and impeccable essay. So I was deep inside was sure that this essay will pass and I will be invited for interview. And luckily I was invited to an interview, and during the interview, like I also, I think, demonstrated a very good leadership and networking and career plan sort of things. And that's why at the end they came back with a scholarship. So they said, congratulations, you have got it. So yeah, but very interesting part. Well, yeah, I got that accepted into that Imperial, and like due to like some family problems and due to some personal problems, I decided uh, to not accept the scholarship. So I rejected it. So yeah, so quite a lot of work on it. 6 or 8 months work I put on it. So I finally got this scholarship. So yeah, I built some confidence into my ability that I can, if I want, I can do it. So I got this scholarship, but I'm not going this September to start at Imperial College London, like due to some personal problems that I don't want to disclose.
Yeah, thank you for the detailed answer. And yeah, it's surprising to know that even though you spend a lot of time on research, writing essays, and getting rejected first time, reaching out to people, like a lot of effort and time, you are not planning to go to study in London. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. And let me ask last questions. So, so reflecting your whole career path, what are the skills or the mindset that really helped you to reach the point that you are now? And for those starting their career in finance in Uzbekistan, what are the steps they should take to build strong foundation for global opportunities?
Uh, uh, well, honestly, like uh, I'm not going to say that I'm at very high level and telling the youth you should do it and that. So like no, like I think the thing that I did correct when I was 18 or 19 that I invested a lot for my studies. Well, yeah, so I never saved a penny for my studies, so I invested a lot into it, and I didn't uh, search for assistance. So I didn't want to rely on some third people coming and helping me. Yeah, saying, "Listen, you should do that. You should do that." So what I did, I came across a problem. To solve the problem, what I need some extra cash. Okay, I need to work. I go work, save some cash, and do solve that problems. Go on, go on, go on. So you should have that mindset of problem solving. You should look for the ways how to solve the problem. And at work, like it's what I think. Your employers they value you if you know how to get things done. So you should not be headache for them. You should get the thing done, and they will pay for that for you. So if you create so many problems, so in order to get the things done, I have that problem, this is a risk. it's impossible. I don't know how, when anybody helps. If you like put yourself into those sort of atmosphere where you're I don't know, you're saying it's difficult, tough, I don't know how, when, why. So you probably will not get the thing done, and people like your employer look at you like you're not useful and you're not creating value for them. So learn how to get things done. So your problem solving skills, your communication, your network, that they will help you a lot than the books that you are sitting in a closed room and hitting. Yeah. So I'm not promoting that you should not study, you should not read. So, like, I did both. You should find that a very good balance where you're studying and at the same time you are putting those notes into practice. Do not focus on one thing only. Just get things balanced. They will help you a lot.
Thank you, Mirafzal, for your time and effort spent on talking and also some insights. I think we got so many insights here. Listening, I'm taking notes while others might also be taking notes too. And I got one
Uh-huh.
question, which is really interesting to me too. So someone from the audience is asking, when do you think is ideal time to pursue master's degree? Is it right after undergraduate studies or after gaining work experience? And
Uh-huh.
how would you compare the value of an MBA versus master's degree in finance?
Well, with all due respect, well, honestly, I think that going to masters after bachelor's, so it's really strange. Why? Let me tell you. Well, if you are going to the masters after bachelor's, that means when you did your bachelor's, you did not acquire enough skills that you can go to the job markets with the skills that you got, and you cannot find job. So that's why you need to upskill, and then with masters you need to upskill, and then you come back and go to the market and get a job. That's how I look at it. I'm saying again, with all due respect, it's my humble opinion. That's why, how I see it. Well, ideally, I think like you did your bachelor's, go to the market, get some experience, and you will reach the time when you feel that you don't have something. So yeah, so you have that gap. So in order to fill that gap, so you need to go to the masters, you need to get those knowledge, come back and fill that gap and go up. So that's how I look at it. Well, I don't know what's the ideal time for it. So personally, I didn't feel it for now. So like I've done my bachelor's degree, I've done my ACCA, so I can easily compete with those who are coming after masters even. Yeah, I can easily compete with them. So why I need to spend another year to go to London and to do masters? So if I can easily reach the level that I can reach after masters now. So you see, so that's the idea. That was my answer to your first question. Regarding the second question, MBA and Master of Science in Finance. Well, I think I'm not the right person to answer that because I don't know like what is MBA, like what they're teaching. Well, yeah, I had time to go through MBA curriculum. So for me, it seems like uh, MBA is giving me some general things, general knowledge, good network, good soft skills, and yeah, right people with whom I can build something, with whom I can do something. Yeah, so that's what MBA gives, I think. So for in terms of Master of Science in Finance, I think they are more specialized. They're deeply focused in finance, in the financial markets. So Like, again, before going to masters, before going to your MBA, you should know where you want to end up. Yeah, that really helps. So if the place where you want to end up, they require Master of Science in Finance, go and do it. If they require MBA, go and do MBA. So it's very important. It's very dangerous actually to go blindly to do MBA or masters. So blindly, you see. So you don't know where you want to end up, but you want to do MBA because everybody's doing it. Crazy. You should not do that. Well, yeah, that's how I see it, and that's the reason why I'm not doing masters by now. So because I don't have need for that for now. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your answer and your time. We really appreciate it, and it means a lot to us. Value your time and advice. Hopefully, it will be useful to those who are listening right now and who will be listening in the future. We wish you
Uh-huh.
all the best in your career. And yeah, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening to us. Hope you enjoyed the talk. Bye bye.